Hi everyone, welcome to a new video which I did put on that said that we're going to do. I've made a new product which is walnut stock oil. It's basically, it's same as it says in the name, it's a walnut coloured stock oil. It revives the colour in your stock, brings the grain out slightly, obviously soaks in to give a oil finish to your stock. What you need to do first, I've already done it with this one, is firstly, this is my demo stock, so whatever you do to yours before you oil it, it'll be lighter than this. This has had that many coats of demo makeup oils and stains and things. If I were to sand this back to wood, there'd be nothing left. So what I've done with this is what you'd be better doing with yours. Firstly, in yours, like I said, this is an old gun, all the checkering's gone, it's been sanded that many times. Get a stiff toothbrush, a bottle of nail varnish remover, acetone type. Pour a bit of nail varnish remover in the lid, dip the brush in it, scrub out all the dirt and oil and everything out of your checkering, both sides of your stock and your forend. Wipe it clean, give it another go, brush it all out both ways in your checkering till it's all nice and clean, nice and dry. And then get some 0000 gauge wire wool, some nail varnish remover in a lid or a cap or something. Dip your wire wool in and just clean your stock off. Basically the wire wool, which obviously at the same time it'll smooth it, get rid of any roughness. Once you've done it all, wipe it clean, have a look at it. More often than not I do it, at least I do it probably twice, and then wipe it all dry. When you're happy with the finish, just get a damp cloth with the nail varnish remover on it, just give it a quick wipe down, get rid of all the muck and dirt that might be left behind, and then set it aside to dry for half an hour or so. It doesn't take long because it evaporates as well as it dries. And then you should be left with a nice clean stock that looks a bit like this, but like I say, yours will be lighter. This has got that much stain in it, I'd never get it out, it's soaked in. So then the first thing to do is, again, get some 00 gauge wire wool, set it aside, get your stock oil, give it a good shake, because obviously there's things in there that will settle. Apply the oil to your stock. You don't need to do sparingly. You don't want it to dry straight away, you want it to sit there a bit. I'll just do one side so I'm not holding it up. That's it. You can put plenty on, but not enough that it starts running and dripping all over the place. I see the grain already. So I'll just do one side for the minute and just put some on. You can do it quickly like this, or you can take your time, it doesn't really matter. Do that on both sides of your gun. And then what I will do then is I'll set it aside and I'll wait for it, and you'll see it, it'll go patchy where it started soaking in. And once that starts happening, just get your 00 gauge wire wool and wire wool all the oil into the stock, and eventually you'll see that it starts drying and leaving a bit of a slurry on. And then just keep pushing that slurry about, and then when you're happy with it, get a cloth, kitchen roll, wipe it off, buff it all dry, and you'll find as you go it'll also start filling your grain with that little bit of slurry that's there. It's not a lot of slurry, but it creates a bit. And like I say, I'm going to leave that to stand now for probably an hour, and then I'll come back with the wire wool. We'll wire wool it again, and then we'll do the next process. But that's what it looks like already. When this process is finished, you'll end up with a matte stroke satin finish, not a gloss finish. It's a satin finish, and the process is quite simple. That if you got up in the morning from start to finish, it would take you about 12 hours from rubbing it down to applying a coat of gum wax afterwards. So I'll let that dry for an hour, and then I'll come back and we'll wire wool it off, and I'll show you what the process is with the wire wool. Okay, see you shortly. Hiya. Right, the oil's been under stock about an hour. You may be able to see in areas it's soaking in. It's a bit difficult with this light, but in patches all over the gun, you see like the ribs, in patches all over the gun it started soaking in. So what I'm going to do now is 00 gauge wire wool. I'm just going to wet and dry it You don't need to press on, just wet and dry it, rub it down with oil gauge wire wool, and you'll see the oil will start to dry and leave a bit of a slurry. That slurry is actually filling in the grain slightly. And just wire wool it till it looks relatively dry, and it doesn't take much. And so you don't want to keep pressing on, so all you're doing is taking the coats off that you're already putting on. If you just wire wool that, obviously what will happen here is it's rubbing the oil in. B, it's filling your grain slightly, and obviously it's making your gun smoother. So just make sure you go right to the ends, because sometimes when you finish you'll think, oh, I've not really gone off the edge, and it's going to be a different finish. But I'm sure you all know how to rub a bit of wood down. I'll do both sides on this occasion, because otherwise I'll be caked in it. That side's dry now. Do this side. I say it doesn't take much. Once it's been soaking in an hour, if it's not started soaking in after an hour, odds on it ain't going to soak in much more, because obviously your gun's already had oil on it and things, and you've only took, in theory, the top surface layer off of oil and muck and what have you to give it, so you've got a key for this, you know. So there's still going to be some oil in there somewhere, unless you really go to town and strip it to really bare wood, which for a refinish, it's not like this, it's not really necessary. All you're doing is just refreshing your wood, re-oiling it, and then at the end we'll put some wax on it, and that's all it takes. So as you can see, that's practically bone dry. So what I'll do now is, got a bit of kitchen roll, you can use what you want, wipe all the excess off, a bit of a buff. I'll wipe all the excess off first, and I'll spin cloth round, give it a bit of a buff. Yeah, that's all the excess off. Turn it round. As you can see, there's not much left on once I've rubbed it in. Give that a buff up. And then what I'd advise you to do is repeat that process 3 times. You'll just get a better finish, a smoother finish. This stock's been rubbed down hundreds and hundreds of times. It's like glass to start with. To be honest, I'm surprised any oil soaks in this anymore. It's had that much material on it. You know, there'll be samples and things. But that's after 1 coat and 1 wire wool. And it's got, I know these lights are shining down, it looks shiny, but that is a matte. You can just see across it there. That is a matte to slightly satin finish. So if you repeat that process 3 times, so that's obviously strip it down with your nail varnish remover, put a coat of oil on, let it sit for an hour or until most of it looks like it's started soaking in. Double O gauge wire wool it, you don't need to press on, don't need pressure, wire wool it all over and it'll dry. While the wire wooling it, you'll see it's dry. It might be a damp in places, that doesn't matter. Turn it over to the other side, get a cloth, rub in all the excess even, and then once you've rubbed the excess in, turn the cloth round, buff it up, and you'll see it, after the first coat you'll see it coming. And then once you've done that, I'd repeat the process 3 times. Pure and simply, you'll have a beautiful gun. Beautifully smooth, lovely. I don't need to repeat it on this, because it's had that much oil in it already, but yours won't have. So now what I'm going to do is a second process after the 3 times of oiling and wire wooling and buffing up. The second process is, put that there, shake this up before every use. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply a coat. It's going to be the same process, but I'm not going to wire wool it in between. I'm going to apply a coat and let it start soaking in slightly. And then I'm going to buff it up, wipe the excess off and buff it up, exact same as what we've just done. And I'll probably do that 3 times. You can keep doing it as many times as you want. The more times you do it, the more oil will end up in your stock, but I'll do it 3 times just so you can show you. So I'm going to put that on like that. You don't have to get finger marks out of it, or if you want for better word, brush marks. because it ain't all going to dry. You're going to buff it off anyway, so don't worry too much about it. You don't need to lather it on, but as soon as you start it to soak in, wipe it off, buff it up and do it again. So we'll let that dry a bit, and then I'll come back, I'll wipe that off and buff it up, and I'll show you what your end product will look like. Like I said, this doesn't need all the coats because it's got that much stuff in it. It's immaterial to this. It is a cracking bit of wood though. But like I said, as soon as it starts drying in, wipe it off, buff it up. Repeat that process 3 times, I would. And then we'll have a look at the next process. Thank you. Right at the point now where the oil's been soaking in. For a while it's just started soaking in places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off. So it's dry. Just a bit of kitchen roll will be fine. Don't worry about bits because it's nothing on it setting as such, so any bits will just wipe straight off. Right, so that's dry, as you can see. I'll spin it round, nice and clean, and buff it up. As you'll start seeing already, it's got a lovely matte finish on it. It brings the stock out, grain out. It just refreshes your wood. I mean, you'll be surprised once you've wiped it down with the cloth and nail varnish remover and you've put the first coat or two on, how good your stock actually does look. You'll forget, if you bought it brand new and you've had it 10-15 years, you'll have forgot actually how good your stock was, because obviously you're going all the time, you don't realise how dirty it's getting. So repeat that process as many times as you like. I do it 3 times. Apply it just as it starts soaking in, wipe it off, buff it up, then let it dry overnight once you're happy with the finish, and then we'll put some wax on it. It's not sticky, not at all. Even though my hands are quite sticky, it's not leaving any marks on. It's nice to touch, it's not slimy, it's just nice. Like I say, keep applying that process at least 3 times. I'd do it 3 times. Obviously I'm slowing the process down a little bit, or speeding it up should I say, because otherwise the video will be an hour long. So I'm going to let that dry now. You keep doing yours till you feel you've got it how you like it, or you get bored, whichever comes first. And then we'll set it aside for a few hours, then we'll give it a wax. Back shortly. Right, after you've repeated your process of oiling it, let it stand for a short while you just see it seeping in that spot, buff it up, oil it again, wipe it off, buff it up. Do it at least 3 times, I would. While you've got it at this stage, you might as well. So now, when you've set it aside to dry, leave it 24 hours, if you can. Just give it a bit of a buff. Sometimes they do sweat as they've dried. Just to make sure there's no bits on it, that's it. And then, wax. Just your normal gun wax. I'll do one side again just to show you. Apply it sparingly, or it's up to you. You've only got to rub it back off again, as I usually say. So that's one side, that's got wax on it. Duster. Just buff all that off. Basically this will just seal it, and the more coats of this you put on, it's more and more protection you'll have, and with every coat you put on it just fills all your grain that little bit more. Why won't you want your gun protecting even more? So that's one coat of wax. Like I said, these lights don't give a true light on it, but that is a matte with a, I know it's hard for you to believe me with the shine on it, the lights, but that is a matte finish. Slightly satin, but it's a matte finish. This is the forend, you might be able to see that better. No, maybe not. But it really is a lovely, smooth finish, not slippy, it's not shiny, it's just a matte to very soft satin finish. And it looks great, and look at the grain in the wood, it looks amazing. You can't tell in here the light, but it looks superb. So I'll give it another wax. Personally, I'd give it at least 3 waxes. I'll just keep doing this one side. Yeah. Just give that a second. Yeah, it's a lovely matte finish. Buff it in. You don't have to take your gun to bits to do this. This is already in bits, it's always in bits because it's what it was from the samples. You can just be careful and not get it everywhere. But it is easy if you take your stock off because you've not got your barrels and things swinging about in air while you're trying to do things with it. And there it is. Finished. Not sticky, not slippy, nothing. Just a nice matte to soft satin finish. And it looks great and it feels even better. Now bear in mind, this is on there, 1 oil, then 1 wire wool. With yours, give it 3 oils, let it dry slightly for an hour, wire wool it till it's dry, just about, wipe it off, buff it off, keep repeating that for at least 3 times. The more you do it, the better finish you'll have. This is on there 1, so imagine yours, this is like glass. And then next process, apply a coat of oil, let it stand, you just watch it, you'll see it, and it'll start, just so it starts soaking in, wipe it off, buff it up. Repeat that process 3 times. You can keep doing it all day long, it ain't going to hurt it. It's only going to get more oil in your stock, which is a good thing. And then once you're happy with the finish, buff it up. If you can, set it aside for a day, come back next day, just give it another buff because you'll see little like pinheads and it sweats. Buff it off, then 2, 3, 4 coats of wax. It's waterproof, it's as smooth as silk, and it feels great. And all that is in 1 bottle. I'll show you what the bottle will come out. It's a 50ml bottle, and that there, the labels are not landed yet, but that there will do that process 4 times, and that's all it takes, just that. It's got the colour in it, as you maybe can see. It's got waxes in it, oil in it, dryers, there's all sorts of bits and pieces in it, but that's why I tell you, before every process, give it a really good shake up. And this will be on sale in a few days. I'll let you know where it's at. It's ready now, I'm just waiting for labels coming. And that's it for a beautiful matte, slightly satin finish, and it looks great. Okay, thanks a lot. Cheers, bye.